Hi there, this is Diane, out and about in Puente Hills, California, where I just went to go see The Karate Kid, the remake. And let me just start by saying it was absolutely fantastic. I was so pleased with everything in the movie. It was just such a delight. I had a choice between three movies that I was going to go see today, and I watched all three trailers, and I picked that one, and I'm so glad that I did. I stand in awe at the masterful, the whole everything about this movie. I absolutely loved it. It was sort of like two or three different movies in one. I laughed, I cried, I marveled, and it took me on a roller coaster ride of all my emotions. I think I went through, this is my tissue that I had going all night. I honestly, it tugged at my strings as a mother. It tugged at my strings as a person of society, just, you know, civil things. And the story is, it wasn't a surprise story, but it didn't matter. It didn't change how I felt about it at all. The story is, you know, this kid moves, his mom has to move, their dad passed away, and such cute ways that they told that too. You know, it's so hard. I know myself, having moved several times, what an upheaval that is. And so to lose all of those things and then to find yourself in a new place, no matter where you are, is always difficult. But this kid ends up in China. So we feel that. We feel that he's lost his father. We feel that now he's moved, and now he's experiencing an entire new culture. And so all of those things are stressful. Add to that, now he's in this place, China, which, by the way, as they show that, the cinematography was fantastic. Just fantastic. And we got to see a whole new culture. You know, I've never traveled, and I've always wanted to. I have a friend who's in China who sent a few pictures, but it's not quite the same. And they showed a lot of China, and they showed the expansive lands. They showed the wall. They showed the big kung fu culture part of it. There were scenes in there that were just breathtaking, just as far as the volume and the number of people. So Jackie Chan, as his character is introduced, what a great job he did. He plays Mr. Han, which is the maintenance man, and they took some funny scenes. You know, they really did a great job of adapting it for today, with today's attitude and today's, you know, the people who went to the movie in 1984 or whatever it was. We remember the scene where the sensei is trying to catch the fly with the chopsticks, and he finally does. Well, they do something funny in this movie that just, right from the get-go, you know, you're already laughing, because it sort of is like, we know you're expecting something from the other movie, but we're gonna throw you this little bone right from the beginning. So that was kind of cool. The scenes about, you know, then introduces the love subject, and what a sweetheart she was, this beautiful Chinese girl, and she represents all that is good and cultured and refined, and how all of us ache for beauty, all of us yearn, all of us are drawn towards refinement and beauty, and she embodies that character so beautifully with her beautiful violin playing and her sweet spirit. In a perfect world, we would all have ooh, what's happening? In a perfect world, we would all experience enlightenment and love and kindness towards our fellow man, and hope for the best for everybody that's involved. But in the real world, which is what he experiences, there is evil, and there are people who are mean and unkind and really just evil. And so we feel how it feels to, we feel through his eyes the fear and the abuse, and what it feels like to have to hide and to run and to be bullied, and nobody deserves to live like that. And unfortunately, you know, I mean I don't think, oh, I'm afraid of anybody, but you know, when they exert that physical force over you, what choice do you have? You have You have total fear, and that's how this poor kid was living, which I didn't realize this was Will Smith's son and that this was his movie. What an outstanding job that he did, and what a wonderful job his son did as the character who was being bullied and then, you know, rises. And I like how they he didn't just say, you know, will you teach me, but that they also had, you know, the good versus evil, and they had the bad teacher and the bad students, and of course that's where these bullies came from, was this other bad teacher. And then they go to make peace, you know the story, and then the bad teacher goes from bad to worse. But I like how it was handled, like, we won't fight you here, we'll fight you at the tournament. And that's an awesome way to do it. And of course the tournament was so wonderful too. They used today's technology to show little clips and show whose points moved up. So that was cool how they integrated that. Another thing that's interesting about that culture versus the Eastern culture versus the Western culture is honor and respect is a big part of it. And I like how they merged and blended the two different kind of cultures and showed, you know, how disrespectful kids are here in the West, and they could use a lesson or two on respect. And boy, isn't that the truth. And so I really appreciated how they did that. And it's about self-respect and self-discipline and self-mastery. And I just really appreciated how they did that. It also showed the weakness of the teacher with his own heartaches, and how the teacher also becomes the student as the child teaches the master that you got to move on and get on with life. What a great job he did. I've never seen him before, and he just did an outstanding, a stellar performance from Jaden Smith. Just really, I don't know what else I could say about it. You just got to go see it. You just have to go see it. The other thing that was so awesome, I was telling my parents when I came home tonight about it a little bit. I said, you know, when you watch movies at home, a lot of people are trying to pull people into the theaters these days because so many people have home theaters and awesome different things, and so they do 3D or they do those special seats that rumble. But you know, there's really not another experience that can equal the experience of going actually and sitting in the theater and feeling the energy and hearing the noises and the sounds and the reactions of a full-on enlivened audience. And in this case, in this movie, people were like, yes, clapping and shouting, and you know, it's like this collective, you feel that energy and you can hear it all at just the right appropriate moments in the movie. And it sort of enlarges and magnifies your experience by sharing it with people who, you know, for all practical purposes, they're strangers, but we are all part of the human family, and we all reacted the same way. It was just awesome when you see, you know, good triumph and evil be beaten. It's just always a satisfying feeling. You leave feeling good. And you just, sometimes you watch it like this, and there were times, seriously, I just cried probably 5 times through the movie because of my heartbreak of how mean kids can be. Just, it's just really, you know, it hurts when you see people mistreat others deliberately with such cruelty. It's just, I just wish things like that didn't go on. But even in, you know, our real life, that is even happening. That, you know, you just cannot fathom people treating other human beings that way. But they do. And they have since the beginning of time, and they probably will continue to. And so this also has a good message for us as whole beings to understand the need for, I think one of my favorite lines in the movie was about, you know, he's like, to control others, and it goes, the only one that you can control is yourself. And so to learn the self-mastery of the physical and the mental and just the whole mind-body-spirit connection, it was really it was an amazing thing. They took us up to the top of this place where all of these students were learning and showing how they became masters at what they did, with the cool fighting with the sticks and the meditating, and just the artistry of the discipline, something like Kung Fu, and some cultural things that have come here to Southern California that I've seen is the big group classes of Qigong and those kinds of things. So anyway, it's absolutely a wonderful, wonderful treatment of a familiar theme, but they breathed new life into it, and it was absolutely, I just don't know what else I can say except for go see it. Kudos to Will Smith and kudos to Jaden Smith, and I absolutely I love Jackie Chan. I always have. In this movie, he has a scene when you know, the kid is already beaten up and he comes out and sort of, you know, protects him by defending the others. That his first fighting scene as the maintenance man, before you even know what he has, what he's capable of, is so awesome. I mean, Jackie Chan, honey, you still got it. I absolutely loved his performance in this, and nothing was overdone. It was just perfect. What a wonderful, wonderful movie. So thank you for watching my review of The Karate Kid, and do let me know how you enjoy it. Hope I didn't give you too many spoilers, but for heaven's sakes, we know the theme, but it's worth seeing. I know you'll love it. Thanks for watching. I'm Diane, out and about, reviewing The Karate Kid.